Hello everyone. Today we are going to read lesson 7 Snake Trouble. My grandparents and I were going to Lucknow to visit Aunt Ruby. We had to travel by train and so we couldn't take any pythons, monkeys or other unusual pets with us. Shortly after we boarded the train, Grandmother stretched herself out on the berth. I think I'll go to sleep. If you are hungry, you can help yourselves to parathas, omelets, and chicken curry from the hamper under the berth. I tugged at the hamper and dragged it to the middle of the compartment. As soon as I untied the straps, the lid flew open and I let out a gasp of surprise. In the hamper was our python curled up contentedly. There was no sign of our dinner. "It is the python," I said, "and it has finished all our dinner." "Nonsense," said Grandfather. "Pythons like their food alive. Why, this is an old hamper which was stored in the storeroom. The one with our food in it must have been left behind." Grandfather snapped the hamper shut and pushed it back beneath the berth. "Don't let Grandmother see him," he said. A little after midnight, there was a great noise at the end of the corridor. Grandfather and I got up to see what was wrong. Suddenly there were cries of "Snake, snake!" I looked under the berth. The hamper was open. "The python's out," I said, and Grandfather dashed out of the compartment in his pajamas. "We can't go into the washroom," a passenger said. "There is a huge snake inside." Grandfather and I entered the washroom together, but there was no sign of the python. "He must have gone out through the ventilator," said Grandfather. When we got back to our compartment, Grandmother was sitting up on her berth. "You told me you had left that creature behind, and all the time it was with us on the train," she scolded. "It's gone, so you will never see it again," said Grandfather. "It must have fallen out of the washroom window." Even as he spoke, the train slowed down and came to a grinding halt. "No station here," said Grandfather, putting his head out of the window, and together we hurried towards the engine. Grandfather said to the engine driver, "Anything I can do to help? I know all about engines." But the engine driver was speechless. The python had curled itself around his legs and the driver was too frightened to move. "Just leave it to us," said Grandfather, and dragging the python off the driver, he dumped the snake in my arms. The engine driver sank down to the floor, pale and shaking with fear. "I think I would better drive the train," said Grandfather. "We don't want to be late getting into Lucknow." And before the driver could protest, Grandfather had released the brakes and set the engine in motion. This was the reading of our lesson 7, Snake Trouble. If you have any doubt or query, you can ask me in the comment section below. Also, you can find the links to other lessons in the description box below. Thank you everyone.